It's Wednesday, August 9th, 2017. I'm your host, Sarah Mantle. We have a great show in store for you today. First up, we're going to chat with Register of Deeds Jack Mead. He has the latest real estate numbers for Barnstable County. Then we're going to learn more about the upcoming Centreville Old Home Week. And finally, we'll learn more about this week's Cape Cod Life-Saving Competition during our interview with lifeguard Megan Mamlock. All of that on this episode of Barnstable Today. But first, let's go ahead and get a look at today's top headlines. The Planning and Development Department is working to update the town's open space and recreation plan. The plan is used to identify challenges, potential areas of growth, and priorities for open space. Once approved by the Massachusetts Division of Conservation Services, the town will be able to qualify for state grants related to land acquisition. You can weigh in by taking a brief survey. The survey will be open through August 15th. You can access that survey by visiting the Town of Barnstable's website and clicking through to the Planning and Development Department. The Town of Barnstable will hold a special election on September 19th. That election will allow residents to vote on the Proposition 2.5 override that is related to the funding of the proposed new building for Cape Cod Regional Technical High School. Polls will be open September 19th from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you have not registered to vote and would like to cast a ballot in September, the deadline to do so is August 30th. You can contact the town clerk's office with any questions. Barnstable High School is gearing up for its summer graduation ceremony. This will be the high school's 6th year hosting a summer graduation. 17 students will participate in the ceremony this month. Summer graduation will be held Monday, August 21st at 5:30 in the Cobb Astro Park. Congratulations to all the graduates. Well, if you're looking for a way to give back to the community, there are seats open on several boards, committees, and commissions here in the town of Barnstable. The Zoning Board of Appeals, the Barnstable Youth Commission, the Golf Committee, the Agricultural Commission, and others all have open seats. To learn more and to download an application, you can visit the town's website and click through to the Appointments Committee. Up next, we'll get the latest real estate numbers from Register of Deeds, Jack Mead. So Jack, thank you for joining me this morning. Really excited to talk to you about the real estate numbers for the month of July. What can you tell me? Was it good news, bad news? How do we look in July?
Well, actually, it was good news. We had a nice, strong month of July. We're nothing outlandish in terms of being greater than a year ago, but very solid numbers. Last July was a decent, it was a good, solid July, and so was this one. So we were up a little bit. Almost 1.7 in terms of the overall sales, and the individual property sale was up nearly 5%. So we had a good month for July, and I was pleased with it. I didn't think we were going to be as strong as a year ago, and we turned out we were right about even with a year ago, so that's good news. Yeah,
good news there. I mean, we'll take that. And two, as we've looked over the trends for the entire year, we've really seen an increase month after month. So to keep that going and keep steady, pretty good news, pretty secure housing market there. What can you tell me about the average sale price when we're looking in the area in Barnstable County?
Well, the median sale price was $355 for this month, which is up from a year ago, and which was in $338 a year before, last year at this time. So we've seen a nice little bump there, almost 5% increase in terms of that activity. For the year, we're up. The median sales value is up. The individual median sales value is up over 6% from last year. So we've been, and the volume is what's key in my book is the volume has been strong as well. So we've been up 5%, and the prices have been going up. So they're working hand in hand, and but they're not crazy. We're not getting double-digit numbers here, but we're getting nice, solid, steady numbers that I think reflects a sustainable market and homes that on both ends, buyers are getting a number that they can live with, that works, that makes sense, I think, in terms of the overall market of what we're seeing, and the sellers are getting a fair deal as well. So,
hey, we definitely like to see that. How are we looking as far as mortgage activity goes? Because I know sometimes when we look at refinancing and just the home sales aren't the only thing to look at.
No, actually, I think we've seen a little uptick in refinance activity. We're down for the year overall in terms of mortgage volume, but I would have expected we might have been down a little more, given that rates are ticking up slightly. But I think that might incent some people to to get in the refi market, and or the fact that home values are moving up gives people some room to get, you know, an equity line or do some refinancing that they may not have been able to do before because of the loan-to-value issues. So
that's got to give
all
a lot
those
of
things
confidence.
Keep working in the right direction.
Homeowners must have a lot more confidence too now, knowing that that the value of their home is going to sell for, you know, what they really need to get out of it. So, you know, maybe we'll see some people making a move, switching houses. You never know.
Oh no, I mean, I think people, hopefully, you know, I mean, we had a very solid, active lower end of the market in the last year or so. Anything in the, you know, under the median value was didn't stay long in the market, you know, if it was in half decent shape. And I think if the market, you know, if we keep this trend going, then that'll allow people to, you know, as their families get bigger or whatever, the year-round populations, to be able to move up to a bigger house and you know, and afford that as well. Hopefully affordable. I mean, obviously there are other factors with affordability, insurance, taxes, et cetera. So all those things come into play, and so there's a lot of variables that are out there in terms of what affects the market, and interest rates, obviously, and so we'll see. But so far, so good. So
would we call this a seller's market then, Jack, or is this a buyer's market, or are we just sort of in the middle?
You know, it's. I think it's in the middle. I mean, it's all about pricing, the price point. If I think everyone has. All the players involved, at least on the buyer, especially on the buyer side, they get to see a nice sampling of homes. They can look online, et cetera, and really, you know, get a sense of what's out there, and so they're discerning. And so a seller's got to, you know, you're not going to just, you know, put something out there and people just take it. It's not that scenario. But I think if you price it correctly, I talk to the realtors around here, and they're like, you know, things get priced right, they're going to move.
They go.
And pricing right is, you know, it's an art as well as a science. But you got to be realistic about what, you know. We have enough of a level of activity, and we've had a history in the last, you know, 5-6 years now that the market's come back. So you get you know, the professionals get a pretty good sense of the value, what the value should be and can be in this market.
Right. You got to convince that homeowner, though.
Right. The homeowner, however,
that's where they need to price their house. Usually the hardest sell, and I understand that they bought it for X and they put a lot of money and time and effort into it, and they want to sell it for X plus, you know, but maybe they can only sell it for X plus, you know. So it's just one of those scenarios. So. Well, I hate to do this, but I do want to check in on foreclosures. How were we looking at in the foreclosure market over July?
Well, that's the one area where we're not very pleased. We're up. We had an increase this month, almost over 50% in terms of, you know, we went from 14 to 22 foreclosures in July, and we're ahead. So we're slightly ahead for the year in terms of the number of foreclosures. And I think a lot of that is, you know, honestly, I think these are properties in most cases that have been in some distress for quite a while, but due to the failure of, you know, the lending institutions, their paperwork, et cetera, that they, you know, it's been a long time, you know, getting their act together from that perspective. And I think we're starting to see, with some clarity in terms of the law, that's developed over the last, you know, 10 years ago. So I think in foreclosures, I think we're starting to see, unfortunately, the fruits of some of those struggling properties finally getting to foreclosure. So on one side, it's a terrible thing. On the other side, I'm hoping that means that we're going to be soon past the worst of it. But you never know.
And we'll remember, too, to keep those positive numbers in mind, that growth that we're seeing in the real estate market. So hopefully we'll see some of those things turn around. Thank you so much for joining us, Jack. We really appreciate it, and getting the update on the real estate numbers here in Barnstable County. Hope to chat with you again in the near future.
I do, too. Take care, Sarah.
You as well.
Best of luck.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Jack. Our guest today, Register of Deeds, Jack Mead. So Megan, very excited to chat with you about the upcoming Cape Cod Life Saving Competition. This event has really gone on. I think we were talking to Patty Machado yesterday.
Right.
She said this has gone on for well over 30 years.
Since I think she said 1976.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's a tradition for everybody.
Yeah.
How many years have you participated on the Barnstable lifeguard team?
So I've been a lifeguard with the town for 8 years, and this is my 7th summer on the comp team. So it's always a great experience.
So what do you have to go through to prepare for competition when you're a part of the lifeguard team?
Well, as a lifeguard, Patty, John, and Tim, who are our main leaders or bosses, they have us go through a weekly workout, so either swimming, running, or paddling on the board, so that everyone in the town, gets comfortable, because we also use them for rescues. So with that, and then in addition to that, we'll either have comp practices in the morning or after work, so we'll have that for an hour or two, and we'll just go through how to carry people, from the swim rescues and from the paddle rescues, and just really figure out how to work each individual event.
It's so interesting too. Do you think running through all of these exercises and all these preparations help you in your day-to-day duties as a lifeguard?
For sure, because I've been a paddler with the paddle relay, paddle rescue, and then this year I'm on the swim rescue, and I think it really helps because it shows you gotta be fast, you gotta get to the person, and using the board especially is heavy, so when you finally master how to get on it in one smooth motion, it makes everything faster to get to the patron that's in need. So,
very interesting. When you're leading up to competition, do you get excited? Do you get nervous? How do you feel?
Well, it's kind of crazy because it's all teams across the Cape. So from Sandwich, we have people from Maine that come too, and they're also very good.
I didn't know that. That's far.
Yeah, so they come, and it's very intense competition every day because it's the best of the best lifeguards, the most in shape. Everyone has 6 packs except for me, and they're just they're very competent, especially the oceanside beaches or the because we have surf and non-surf. So the surf beaches, I think it's Nauset and all the beaches up there, they all have these other qualifications to be lifeguards up there. So they're very trained. I think they have more intense workouts than we do, but they live and breathe it. So they're very gung-ho about it.
So different levels depending on what types of beaches you're working on. And not everyone gets to be a part of the competition team. Right. So how does that work? How are you selected?
So every year it's left up to whoever is the leader. So this year it was Tim McGrath. He has a new position with the RAC. Congratulations. And so he determined based off of, we did timed. So we did a time trial for the swim, and I think there's a time trial or just place selection for paddling. So whoever came in first or had the quickest time was, thought of first, and then people could challenge them on another day to see if they could sneak in. So it's really based off the time, and then obviously your abilities either on the board and everything else.
So is it competitive then if you can challenge someone? Does that happen often? Do you have lifeguards who say, hey, I'm going to take you on. I want to try and get a spot on the competition team?
There's been a few years where it's been competitive. I've had to compete for the paddle because paddling is also pretty everyone really wants to paddle. But yeah, we get super amped, and it's, butterflies and everything, but it's all in good fun. We all just want to make sure that we do the best that we can do at this competition and really show that Barnstable is super prepared and ready for anything.
Now, you actually were a swimmer, I think in high school and college. Do you think that experience helps you really get on that team?
Yeah, I've been competitively swimming since I was 7 with the Makos, and then I swam in Barnstable High School, and then I just completed my 4 years at Colby-Sawyer College, which was great. They're D3 swimming. And yeah, I think having the basics down and then having that competitive drive and knowing, in those tight situations, because if you're a first lead off or an anchor or middle, you have to get that team to get to that, first, second, or third place spot to get points. So I think that obviously having a background in swimming really does help, with all aspects of it besides the running. Running obviously doesn't get affected by, but the paddling and the swimming, for sure.
My question to you now is, Barnstable has always done really well in this competition in the non-surf, right? Is that the division we are in, the non-surf? Do you think, how many years, do you know the last couple of years I think we've done? Do you know how we've placed?
I think it's been a 6-year, Pete, don't quote me on it. It might be 6 or 7 since, because I've been on 7, so I think it's been 7 years, maybe even a little bit more. Mark McLaughlin, who's been our coach captain, would definitely know. He's all about it too.
But so you guys have ranked really high for the last.
Yeah, non-surf we've been, consistently first place, and then I think either second or third overall, which is great compared to Nauset and Truro and P-Town and all the other ones, because they're so fit and they always, do super well.
So really hoping that you guys have an excellent time. This, of course, is happening this Thursday. Where is it taking place?
I think it's Newcomb Hollow in Wellfleet, so it's a bit of a drive, but that beach is also beautiful. So everyone should come on down and watch it. I think you
root
have to
on,
pay for
cheer
parking.
on the town of Barnstable lifeguards.
Yeah.
Really give them the love and support. I have to say, it is one of our favorite events to cover. We love heading out there. It's like, yay, the Cape Cod Lifesaving Competition is coming up. So anyone can attend. Take that drive to Wellfleet. Thank you for telling us all about it, Megan.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to wish you lots of luck, and I'm going to be there rooting you on.
Thanks.
So good luck this week.
Thank you.
Our guest today, Megan Mamlock. She is a lifeguard for the town of Barnstable, and of course, our intern here at Channel 18.
So we're joined today by David Soreau, the president of the Centreville Civic Association, and Fred Chirigotis, the town councilor of Precinct 4. Thank you so much for being with us today. So let's talk about the Centreville Old Home Week, which is coming up very soon.
Yes. It is a yearly tradition that has started way back when. I'll let Fred give you some history on it.
Perfect.
But it's a series of great events that occur over a 1 week period of time, beginning on a Sunday and ending on a Sunday.
So if I can, this year, Centreville Old Home Week begins on August the 6th, and it will be every day. That's Sunday, and it will continue through Sunday, August the 13th.
So the
Maybe I'm
beginning,
wrong, yeah.
so August 6th, what's the first thing to kick off?
I was going to tell you. So beginning at the Tabernacle on Craigville Beach, off Craigville Beach Road in the Craigville Conference Center, we begin with Cape Harmony. And Cape Harmony is a concert by, I'll have to count, looks like 10 young ladies who are just a cappella, and they just do a great job. It's a great concert. It's free to everybody. Everyone is welcome. They do request donations from people who like to make a gift so that we can continue to do this. And that's a great event that happens. That's the first event. It's 7:30 on August the 6th.
And that's
the
a Sunday.
kickoff.
Okay,
Right.
perfect.
You want to talk about what happens thereafter?
Sure. On Monday at 7 o'clock to 8 p.m., there is a author, Chris Sutherland, who will be at the Centreville Public Library talking about the books that he has written. On Tuesday, we have the Centreville Civic Association summer meeting, and that is a we call it like an ice cream social.
Oh, sweet.
Sweet, yep. And we have
Very sweet.
very sweet, yep. We have town manager Mark Ells. We have the police chief Paul McDonald, and we have the Fire Department Chief Michael Wynn, all there in speaking as to how they feel things are in the town of Barnstable.
That's great. So
yeah.
you're incorporating basically all the people that help and support Centreville and throughout Barnstable. That's
Correct.
great, so that the
Correct.
people within the town can get to know them better and have a
Correct.
better connection.
Yep. Yeah, and we also at that meeting, the Centreville Civic Association, we have 2 scholarships that we present that evening. So it's a great night. It's kind of the highlight of our year, and something that we look forward to. On Wednesday evening, Fred mentioned the female a cappella group. We have the male a cappella group, Hyena Sound.
Yep, they're also great.
They're also great. They're going to be performing at the Our Lady of Victory Parish Hall, and that is beginning at 7 p.m. And again, although it's a free event, donations are welcome. So, but that's we've had that now. This will be the 3rd year, I believe, that we've held that a concert at the Parish Hall.
At that venue, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great venue. It's a great night.
So we've got through, so let's see, on Thursday is the Old Home Week road race. It's a 5K that starts at Craigville Beach. It begins at 6 p.m.
Do people have to sign up in advance for that, or can they register that day? Do they have to pay money for it?
Yeah, there is a fee for that, and you could register in advance, but you also can register that evening.
Perfect.
It's a combination. There's a road race, and there's also a walk.
Oh, awesome. So that's great for anyone and
That's right.
any
Any age.
athletic.
Friday is the Chips House is going to have an art show. Chips House has an art program, which is Thomas Nigro is a recognized artist. He has an art program at Chips House where a number of individuals who suffer from various disabilities have learned to paint. And their art has been exhibited and sold at various galleries throughout Cape Cod. They will do an art show. That's from 1 to 5. From 6:30 to 7:30 is the Cape Cod African Dance Company, drum and dance company. If you've ever seen African drums and dance, they get you moving.
They do.
That's an exciting event. That'll be a
They
good
do.
time, and that's going to be on the lawn at 9 Park Avenue, which is Chips House in Centreville, Massachusetts. That's a great event. And that leads us to my favorite event, which is on Saturday. So that would be August 12th. Begins with the yard sale at the Centreville Historic Museum. That's not my favorite event. That's a pretty good event if you like yard sales, but the great event is at 6:30, the fire department, COMM, will be at Craigville Beach, and they do a display, and they spray the foam, and kids can have a ball.
That's awesome.
And right after that, 7 o'clock, the Moonlighters begin a concert right on the beach. It gets set up. There were literally thousands of people come. Get there early, get a good parking space. People bring food, chairs. There are from little kids who are playing in the foam and then go in the water, and the bathhouse is open. People dancing on the beach. It's really a great event, and that goes till about 10 o'clock. Right about dark, there's a bonfire, which goes back to the tradition created in 1904 of a bonfire on Craigville Beach.
Yeah.
It's a great event. It's a great family event. People usually, it's always good weather. That's required.
Yes, it is, yeah.
And people have a really good time. So hope to see everyone, really. I mean, everyone there. And if you want to tell us how we finish off on.
Yeah, on Sunday there's a ice cream social at the Centreville Library, and it's a entertainment for children with a mix of favorite tunes. So they have a award-winning composer who's there playing various songs and various music.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
yeah, it is. It's just so overall, it's just a great week in Centreville. Every day has a special event, and every day it's a opportunity for the community to come together, to enjoy each other's company, and to just enjoy being a part of this great week.
It's a great New England tradition to keep going on and making
Right.
everyone collaborate.
Yep.
So that sounds
And everybody
great.
gets to reconnect and meet all your friends and do all
Yep.
kinds of
And meet new
fun
people.
things.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being with us, David and Fred. For more information, you can go to the Centreville Civic Association website, and hope to see you all there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you all there.
Now let's find out what's happening around town in today's community calendars. Well, mark your calendars. The Cotuit Federated Church is going to host Craft Fest in Cotuit later this month. The event is free to attend and will feature great artwork, legendary lobster rolls, live music, and fun activities for the whole family. Craft Fest in Cotuit will be held Saturday, August 19th and Sunday, August 20th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. both days. This Thursday, kids can play and enjoy some carnival games and learn more about the great programs offered by the Recreation Division at Bismore Park. The program is part of the Discover Barnstable series. The free event will be held this Thursday at Bismore Park from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. Now here's a look at this week's Board, Committee, and Commission meeting schedule. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We're going to be back tomorrow with another great show for you. On tomorrow's show, we'll chat with Town Manager Mark Ells. We'll find out what's happening on Beacon Hill during our interview with State Representative Randy Hunt, and so much more. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.